want you to think of your government as one big, giant fuckboy. The boss of fuckboys. The Bowser of fuckboys. Hello, fellow prisoners. So I've been hearing a lot of chatter lately. A lot of people saying things like, it's just 2 weeks, guys. Just 2 more weeks and everything will go back to normal. So please stay home, help flatten the curve, and before you know it, we'll all be partying under the sunshine. I gotta be honest with you guys, this kind of talk scares me a lot more than any virus ever will. Because now I'm wondering what's gonna happen in 2 weeks when everybody starts to wind down from this, thinking it's almost over, only to find out that it's very, very far from being over. You guys really need to get this idea of 2 weeks out of your head, because regardless of how many of you stay home and how many of you post your little flatten the curve hashtag, we're in this for the long haul. And if we continue with this trend of social distancing and complete lockdowns, we'll be returning to a world that looks vastly different from the one we're used to. Not in a good way. Now, I know everyone is scared and confused because there's a lot of information out there and it's difficult to figure out which information you should be listening to. I'm not here to tell you that you should be listening to me. What I want to do is give you the skills to be able to figure it out for yourself. Here's a little secret. The best thing about people, and I use the term best quite loosely because there's really nothing that great about people, is that once you figure out how they operate, it becomes quite simple to pick up on their patterns and apply them to new situations. We call this critical thinking. I want to start by saying that I personally have been following this virus very closely since January. And if I knew the severity of the situation back in January, you better believe that your government also knew the severity of it back in January. At that time, there were very simple steps your government could have taken to prevent the shit show of a situation we currently find ourselves in. But they didn't. And don't let them fool you into thinking they did this out of ignorance. This was 100% intentional. So now you might be thinking, well, why on earth would they do this? I'll tell you why. I want you to think of your government as one big, giant fuckboy. The boss of fuckboys. The Bowser of fuckboys. Now think about how a fuckboy operates. They operate entirely on psychological manipulation. And they're good at it too. So what does a fuckboy do? The first thing they do is come into your life and love bomb you. For a couple of weeks, they shower you with gifts and love and affection and the promise of building a successful future together. Think of that phase as where we were before coronavirus hit. We were hanging out with our friends and building our careers and looking forward to our future. Alright, so what does the fuckboy do in the next phase when he's finished showering you with all of that false love and affection? That's right, he ghosts you. He takes it all away in one fell swoop. Everything was beautiful and perfect and promising. And now you find yourself lying in bed covered in Cheeto dust, isolating yourself from your friends, barely able to make it into work in the morning. And then the fear hits. The fear that if you don't cling to this man, you'll never find another. You'll end up dying alone. That's the coronavirus and subsequent quarantine. Now think about what the fuckboy does after he's ghosted you for a few weeks and deprived you of all that love, affection, and promise that you so desperately clung to. He's gonna pop back up, send you a little text. What's the text gonna say? I miss you. This is where the real magic happens, because your government and the fuckboy operate in the exact same way. He knows how much you've missed him, just like your government knows how much you miss your life pre-coronavirus. So of course, he's gonna use that to his advantage. He's gonna start dropping you little crumbs of affection, just enough to keep the hope alive. A little 2 a.m. booty call. A cute little anecdote about the time he baked apple pie with his beloved Meemaw, just to show a little vulnerability. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna chase those little crumbs around, and you're gonna say, "Thank you, sir. Can I please have some more?" This is the phase we're in now. Right now, your government is feeding you little crumbs because they know, based on human psychology, these crumbs, combined with a little bit of hope, will sustain you for the foreseeable future. Your government's saying, hey, you run a small business and can't go back to work? What'd you make, $120,000 a year? Well, here's $1,000. It's not $120,000, but it's better than nothing, and you're getting real desperate, aren't you? And then collectively, the whole world goes, my government has chosen to give me $1,000? Oh my God, I'm so lucky. I can go for a run once a day? I'm allowed to breathe the air? Can I still have my thoughts too? Now here's the next step in the game. The step we have yet to enter. Just like the fuckboy, your government knows that this little game they're playing has an expiry date. Based on their previous experience, and they're very, very experienced, they know the game can last approximately, let's say, 12 to 16 months. Now, of course, I'm being conservative with that number and giving humanity the benefit of the doubt, but for argument's sake, let's say 12 to 16 months. They both know that when that time is up, their victim is gonna wake up, take a look around, and say, I am done with this shit. I've lost everything. I shut out all my friends. I got laid off from work. I have nothing left to lose. I am miserable. I am willing to take anything at this point just to return to some form of normalcy. And that's when the dude you've been friend zoning for years comes swooping in. He's gonna be like, hey, can't offer you the world, but I make a mean mac and cheese and I couldn't cheat on you even if I tried. Now you may be asking yourself, who is friend zone guy in all of this? The way I see it, friend zone guy is a whole new economic system. We'll have no more small businesses and no more financial freedom. We will enter into a state of super socialism where AI technology runs all the big corporations and the rest of us who are now jobless will be issued a sort of government allowance. Now you might be thinking, government allowance? So I can just sit on my ass all day and still get paid? It's amazing! But it isn't, because just like with Friendzone Guy, you'll be completely dependent. And once Friendzone Guy has secured his dominance over you, his nice guy facade will fade away and he'll become abusive. You'll have to follow all of his rules. Maybe if you say the wrong thing or behave in a way that he doesn't like, he takes a little bit of your allowance away. Or worse yet, if you become too rebellious, maybe he'll abandon you altogether. Then what are you gonna do? You'll be homeless and go hungry. So instead, you stay in line. You follow the rules. And before you know it, you're a prisoner in your own body. And you'll think to yourself, I would rather die than live without my freedom. So you leave him and you find yourself a nice tall bridge. And as you're standing on the edge of this bridge, getting ready to jump, you think to yourself, I wish I hadn't given in to society when they told me being alone was something to fear. Because the truth is, I was fine on my own. I was happy. I was a whole person. I let fear take over my life, and now look at me. So you jump. And as you're falling into a sea of traffic, you'll think back to this video, and just as you're about to hit the pavement, you'll hear my voice in your head say, I told you so. Hey guys, so I filmed this video back in the end of March, and I didn't end up posting it to YouTube. I only posted it to Instagram because I figured it would immediately be banned. I actually find it kind of ironic now because in the video I talk about how we still have our right to breathe, but that was before masks became mandatory, so I guess it was pretty presumptuous of me to think our fuckboy piece of shit government would allow us to continue freely breathing in oxygen. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who watched my censored video. I was very pleasantly surprised by how well that did, so again, thank you very much. I hope you're all staying strong and that you got some things going on in your life to keep your spirits up. It's very important right now. Do not let yourselves fall into a pit of despair. Trust me, I know what it's like in there. It's not pretty. If you like this video, please click the little like button and subscribe and comment. Obviously, I need all the help I can get. I love you all. Thank you again, and I will see you next week. Bye. If I hear one more person say new normal, I'm gonna have to choke a bitch.